We are like bread. Here is the seed, the wheat seed. The spark comes down. Remember, say that this is heaven, and it comes down to the physical world, which says about here. And then the seed lives its life out. So here is the life. But what we want to get to be godly is to get to baked bread. And this is unleavened bread. So this is your life lived out in a very linear way, in a not useful way. God wants you to rise into fullness. This is when the plant grows over your life, which for me took that long, 45 years. When the plant grows, you're shaking. The shaking happens here, where this is the place of the gritting teeth. This is astral experience, but here is where you'd say it was a physical experience. So this is physical, and this is spiritual. This unleavened bread is basically your whole life. You grow the bread, you rise the bread in the fire, which is the hearth, which is a heart, right? It's related to the heart. You can't, the hearth is, if your body was in line, your hearth is around here. It's in the sun solar chakra. So this has to grow, the solar chakra has to grow to make the fire. It's not necessarily in the heart, but it's related to the heart. It leads to the divine. It leads to the divine union, which the fire gets started in the solar with your own empowerment. But when you meet someone you love, divine union, it results in the hearth flame being lit up the whole entire body. Amongst other things. At the place of the gritting teeth, this occurs as a shaking, and it's splitting the chaff from the wheat. It's a shaking. What happens is the body's set on fire. body set on fire. Say this is your root chakra. Well, really, it is kind of like a blackness. It feels like fire, but it is black. Your body sets on fire and it raises up here. Your kundalini raises. And then it goes all the way up to here and stops there. But then it's brought into the nervous system, so it gets spread out. So this is what happens with the shaking. It spreads out like this. And this process is very difficult. There's a bit of screaming. Your angel self, your angel body's going to scream. And at that point, you look outside of yourself. You will not be able to be in your spirit body. You will step out and look at yourself in the observer point of view. To get through this, you need the Lord's Prayer. And you need to know it all. The last 2 lines will take you over the finish line. Okay? And while you're there, you will have a reprieve. So you will be shaken and then it will stop. So you'll have 2 minutes of shaking. No. 1 minute of shaking. 1 minute shake. You'll get to walk around for about 30 seconds. At this point here, you are in a void. It's still a part of the positive, so you will be in a void. But you'll create a hologram within the void, which will be black, dark. It will be black, but outside and inside. But you will have some light. You will have some light in the blackness. If your hologram has a window, you can see outside you have stars. There will be stars there. And they will be supporting you, watching you. And they're all around. Alright. I'm divinely placed. But they're very far away. They're on the horizon. It's a horizontal. Alright. Then so the hearth is lit. Then you get your heart affected, grown, fall in love, and then you go to the place of the gritting teeth. And that is going to spread all of the energy that was held in the root chakra. And this is ancestral. This is ancestral energy as well. Okay? It's kind of like this. And it's related to Gaia. And it's all unconscious, subconscious, all unlocked potential. This fullness is when the bread rises. So something happens. For me, I'm at my divine masculine. I'm at my divine masculine here. And I can't use black because it's not, I don't have to show it black, but so I met him here. and we meet here. We have dinner. And then we met here in the physical, which is here. He was here, but he was a boy because his boy self felt safe. When we met, he did a trick on me. He did mind stuff on me, like CIA sort of stuff. And there was a point where he broke me, and it instigated this. But what I did was, to survive the breaking, to survive it, I sent it back here. And he ended getting sent again. Sent it back there, but I also sent him back here, where I meet him when I'm 40. No, 30. So here I'm having dinner when I'm 40 years. And then we rushed, after we met each other, we rushed together. We would rush through this tube. There's a black channel, like a void channel, where you can reach each other in the void. It's like, that's how he accessed me here. He could go through this channel, okay? But the channel exists here. It starts at the third eye, and it goes all the way down. And people can walk through it. Plants can walk through it, animals can walk through it. It's like a big channel through the body, right? But it's also symbolic of this channel. So I saw him skipping up as a little boy into the void, the place of gritting teeth, where he came and he went and got his higher self, and his higher self was the one that sat down with me and said the Lord's Prayer and helped me finish this process. So we would rush together. So after we met, what my spirit did was we took it back to 15. So when I'm 15, 16, maybe 16. When I'm 16, he rushes in the room. So it's like this, okay? And when I'm about 8, there is a possibility he went back to here, because I do have a companion when I'm very little, but I did not see what he looked like. He would appear behind me. But when I'm 8, I wake up on the astral, because I'm teaching a visitor, my friend, who visits me, how to smoke fish, and he puts the fish in his mouth, and it scares the hell out of me, because I would never do that. It shocks the hell out of me, and I realize that I have this visitor. So that's when he first appears. when the astral experiences, I start meeting him full on when I'm 19. And that's when he teaches me about my past life in France. It's when we meet, it speeds up. It's like hitting, when I'm 20, I get suicidal. 21. And he comes there as well. But he doesn't look the same on all levels, because he hasn't developed himself in the fullness yet. He's not fullness. He's not leavened bread. So upon these levels, he's different. So he has, blonde hair. On this level here, which is what I call the elemental. Where you have ET help, which is also saying, if we're down here, and then you have he is different. He has black hair. He looks different. He does different things. He has access to other worlds, other realms that have nothing to do with me. He's more like a manifestation of Archangel Michael. He's a fighter. He's a protector. He's youthful. He also presses upon the heart area here. He works upon this with me. He accompanies me. He joins me. But so does the little boy. So does this boy that appears in my life. That do a similar thing. He accompanies me. He will hold my hands on the astral, ask if I'm okay, that sort of thing. So anyway, the breaking of the bread. At some point, this is the breaking of the bread. So the breaking of the bread results in this energy being sent out. It's almost like the nervous system of the heart and the spine is a physical emanation of that. But trauma is what makes this happen. Trauma makes the fullness happen. And then the breaking of the bread is the fact that it gets sent back, right? Everything gets sent back. But down here, on the elemental level, is where you get attacked. Okay? But there's also no attack here. So you get attacked by, for me, it was a masculine, which is the person I didn't know, my father. And it was the part of him he didn't know. So it took me a while to understand. And the father the Father for me hit the heart, and he would send energy. I didn't grow up with my father. He had a coma accident. I didn't grow up with him. But there was a lot of unconscious anger, like rage, absolute rage. And it comes and hits me here. And what we do is we spread that out over we spread that out from there, from the time I see my divine masculine on another level, which is up here, which is like, so you have, here is the halo, and here, it's like a grove. The halo is a grove, but it's dark and black. Here is a grove, but it's light, with sunshine. So sun, dark, moon. It's like a moon place. Some people call it the hollow. So my father was sending me hits, and it was hitting me in the heart, but we spread it out over 5 years so it wouldn't hurt too much. And then once I spread out this energy and I became like this in the place of gritting teeth, I could then travel down. So I took the journey down to here. Later on, when I went to here, which is what people call the prison planet. So, yes, these are both intimately connected. They're intimately connected. Just as this and this is intimately connected. They deliver heaven energy. These guys are the same as those guys, but they can, it's kind of like the circle, and they're both here, but then they kind of like go and like, do you know what I mean? So they're kind of like the same. The only thing that's not the same is this, but it is very physical. The place of the grinding teeth is a spiritual place with the void. But it's very physical. You can feel everything there. And overwhelmingly physical. A lot of gritting teeth energy. Here, the elemental is really ET. It's kind of, it's ET energy here. So there was a ship. But above the ship energy was a dome, and God was outside of the dome, and he's very big, and he comes in and he does repairs. So this rage of the masculine father upon my heart, also the attacks, the psychic mental attacks from a feminine, resulted in my body being damaged. So it's down here that they made physical repairs to the body. Physical repairs. The same people, spirits, came when I was 28. The same So it's like they can find you at any age. What else do you want me to say? Alright, so breaking the bread. Breaking the bread. So there's access to your family. So you break the bread by reaching your family within your spiritual manifestation, which is emanations of them. So in the place of gritty teeth, every time I went to this void, okay, I only went once to do this, but the rest of the time when I would go there, my inner child was there. And there was someone I knew. There was an energy and a subconscious hidden energy of my son was there. So every time I would move the assemblage point down, at this point I would hear an emanation of people that were close to me that had locked away their unconscious feelings. People who haven't locked away unconscious feelings are up here. They're up here. And here. They're all the way to here. This is where the healthy are. Like, you don't have to worry about them. They're traveling spirit well. This is where the issues are. This is where the unconscious anger, greed, jealousy, envy, this is where the sins are kept. And God, Yahweh, refers to it like pigs in mud. Pigs in mud. And the mud is healing mud. So he's constantly doing repairs when you sleep. And you're having fun. He considers you guys all having fun. Sometimes you get free will, so there's a void there. In here is the void. It's not like this void with stars. It's empty of stars. This is like the void, empty of stars. There's an overlay of the elementals, but you're put in a little prison, like in a cage. Kind of put in a cage down here. Right? And then you're kind of let out of the cage, and you can experience holograms, dreams in here to process all these unconscious things that you won't accept. For me, it was someone I loved that I could not accept. That was not good for me. And it was down there that I faced it. You also have your ghouls. So when you're in the cage, what you think of as ghouls and the undead are all here at the bottom. Because there is a bottom, like earth, and then all of these And for me, it was probably 100,000. Like, it was a lot of them. So, but they were all shells. They were all empty. I had already sent them on in this here. I'd already sent the sparks on. So they were not alive. They were just the undead. So they just stared. So during these years, I was 42 to 45. I spent a lot of time white lighting the bottom level of the legs and the root chakra, and I ended up moving a lot of these energies on the undead, which would just stream through. They just would stream across and through. And they would warn me about the place of the gritting teeth. The images they sent were about the place of the gritting teeth. They were my first warning that I was going to be going there. And then you're let out of the cage, which is like an earthly cage, and you go into the void and you create what you want to create. I created a world that had like a boxing ring, and it had people that I knew that I loved that I couldn't consciously get to in the physical, and their spiritual team. So also is a place of spirits as well. So their spiritual team is there, and my divine masculine was there in a sense, but it wasn't. It was more. They're more like unconscious shells, hidden facets of them. It was here that I got beaten up pretty bad. But when I got beaten up pretty bad, what we did was say now I've gotten beaten up really bad on that level. We sent it back in time. So this is where I've got beaten up, but we've sent it back in time. We sent it back 2 weeks, and that's where I got repaired. That's where I felt the effects of the battle. So time is not linear. We're sending things back. You're in the physical, you're meeting it. In the spiritual, you're meeting it before it happens, because it's too much. It's too much. We would literally explode under our own power if we weren't sending these things back.